I posted a ad on a spiritual group about offering services. This is very confusing, but I hope you can watch it. About offering services. And I have yet to receive replies because it was literally 5 minutes ago. And I'm waiting for. That's bad. I'm waiting for some replies and doing some of my spiritual artwork at the same time. So I posted that I'm an alternative healer and a contactee, and so I said that I can do alternative healthcare initiations, or I can do a discussion on ET technology, or I can do something along those lines, depending on what the person needs. I didn't set a preset price for my services. So I said that they can pay whatever they feel like paying if it helps them. The traditional, you can give me alms, but I won't ask for money. So that will be the viewpoint. So in the meantime, I think I will make some art clips about me and the art that I have, the stuff that I've made. I'm also thinking of playing Crusader Kings just to watch the Ukanuska reform, because just as I predicted, because Sweden took one of the Ukanuska holy sites in Estonia, and they had a much larger army than me, and I wasn't able to liberate it. And you need enough of those holy sites to reform the religion or be a saint, and I ain't gonna be a saint. So you need the holy sites, and Sweden was much more powerful, and I couldn't liberate the holy site. But as predicted, if I just wait and focus on a peaceful build, eventually they'll do something silly and entangle themselves in some kind of mess, during which I can make a very limited quick action to take just the holy site and then fortify myself. Therefore, I have 3 holy sites. Now I need about 3 times more piety than I currently have, and then I can reform this Finnish ancient religion of Ukanusko to something roughly translates as Ukko is an old supreme god, but it also is a word that means like dude or guy or man, and Usko means faith. So the dude's faith. Yes, I know it sounds very weird. The guy's faith would be another translation. In Old English, Old Finnish, it was a common word for old man or respected guy. Wasn't like saintly, it was still associated with the common folk. It was just old man or guy or respected guy. And perkele, which is now our word for what you'd call the devil, is former god of strength and thunder. So you were Thor. Because once the Christians took over, they changed some of the religious iconology, but retained many of the elements. They didn't fully Christianize. They would have, but we were one of the last places in Europe to actually get in contact with Christianity much. So by the time they were getting along in their removal of local cultures, which is the norm for Christian regions, Enlightenment had come around and we were spared much of the forced conversion and culturalization. Then, when we were taken by Russia, which was 100 years behind in the Enlightenment struggle, they started to Russify Finland, which is what everybody else was doing pre Enlightenment, but didn't have, as I said, enough time. And by that point in Finland, the ethnic unification had been hated because it was very rare and done by the Swedes, which we thought were doing it because they believed they were superior. So when the Russians started doing it, we rebelled. And then they had some minor scuffles with us, and we decided that don't keep those laws. We aren't going to enforce them. Other than that, you do you. It created a minor increase in the interest in parliamentarism, but was in no way connected to the Civil War. The Civil War happened when the Russian Empire fell and got taken over by communism. We thought, well, now's our time to go. We will be taking this particular station. When the elves rebelled and declared the workshop to belong to all the elves and killed the Santa Claus, we decided that it was our time to leave. That's our stance on the issue. It was timely. Then the communists gave us our freedom, then thought that the Reds would also win in the Finnish Civil War, which they didn't. And then, like 20 years later, they tried to enforce their claim, and we had to win the war. It was interesting time to see the Santa Claus figure be so humiliated. Oh, piece of glass. Because I accidentally broke the bomb. There's a tiny piece of glass in here. There it is. So that's roughly Finland. puhuttiin Jumalan olemuksesta? We were talking about how Christianity should have reformed. We were talking if this world has these particular faults, what is, in your opinion, the proper world? What should have happened? And I said Catholicism should be the Roman Empire and its allies. Orthodox should be the Eastern Roman Empire and its allies. And both branches of Christianity, or at the very least Catholicism, including Protestants, should have adopted the idea that without finding other religions' names for God and true understanding about their religions, we cannot find God. The only way to find God is to find everybody who is pointing at God in their view and triangulate where the location is. If they are pointing in different directions, we do not understand where they are unified, but it is a unified direction. If such had been the idea of Catholicism, including Protestants and Reformed and whatever, I would have had absolutely no problem with the colonization of Americas or Indias or any other place. Absolutely no problem in terms of religions. But if it is to go there and convert them into us, then that is the Borg, and I will oppose. If it were a scholarly expedition to see where they are better at us so that we can better ourselves more, then I would have been okay with it. It would have been harsh, but it would have been okay. What is it in these people that we can integrate into ourselves and make a better people? We would have been like the people of Avalon from the British mythology or English mythology, where we would be picking the best in your society to take to our paradise while alive. You would be in a position to compete, and once you reach this side, you would be in a position to help the original side. You people would understand who they wish to promote into us and who they don't wish to promote into us, what you would offer and what you wouldn't offer, but religious conversion of the whole population into an ideology that's not from your homeland, even as a prerequisite for being allowed to help your homeland, it's pretty harsh. Pretty harsh. You are pointing at God, two different directions.
The Conclave Bible. Data links. And he was blessed by light, heat, magnetism, gravity, and all the energies of the universe. A wave of extreme heat that comes from nowhere. It's one of the U.S. military's newest non-lethal weapons.
Finally, just before you're about to cross the event horizon, you see the entire rest of the observable universe contract to a single, brilliant point immediately behind you. If you train your telescope on that point, you'll see not only the light from all the stars and galaxies, but also a curious dim red glow. This is the cosmic microwave background, boosted to visibility by the intense gravitation of the black hole.
The only thing that the Imperial ship crews fear even more than traveling in the warp is traveling in the warp while there is a storm raging. The light of the Emperor's Astronomica can no longer guide the navigator, and entire sectors can be isolated, preventing any help from afar. The chaos, at home in the distortion of reality, becomes an even greater threat. And even the most experienced navigators can only hope for a safe arrival at their destination.
The light of the Astronomicon shines once more. Reinforcements have been dispatched to the Gothic.
Worms have paid their dues. Now they are finished.
It is gone.
They have gotten the anger out of their system. It'll take 1,000 years of fishing before we include the same
before the
again.
majesty of the Emperor, for we all walk in his immortal shadow.
Kiva, kun meillä on viemäreissä semmosia vittu kilometrin pituisia matokoloneja. Vittu niillä on hohojakkaa. Varmaan kun sais astraalis kunnon yhteyden, niin olisi aika nautinnollinen olotila. Semmoinen miljardin matoa semmoisena valtavana massana, joku vittu Hive City. Se on varmaan vittu aika näkyy.
Gaian Acolyte's Prayer.
Hello, worm.
Hello, worm? Oh!
As predator and prey hit speeds of 40 miles per hour, the probes are left in the dust.
Those plants in the background with many legs, they're very interesting.
Ike launches a camera disc to follow the action.
It's like a nuclear explosion with those wires from the ground when it looks like that octopus thing, which means it's a traditional Metroid.
Like a semi-truck.
Some form of Metroid. Käyttivät sporenelluksia tai noita otuksia. Se oli mun mielestä aika siistiä.
Scattered bands of bioluminescence rake the surface, like some kind of alien landscape lighting.
Like some kind of alien landscape lighting.
Possibly it's a form of communication on Dogma 4. But Ike and Leo ignore the light show and push on towards their prime objective.
Do you know what it's like when telepaths make love, Commander? Drop every defense. And it's all mirroring like each other's feelings. Somewhere along the line, your souls mix. And it's a feeling so profound it makes you hurt. It's the only moment in a telepath's life when you no longer hear the voices.
You see, all of the positive energy in form of matter is exactly equal to the negative energy in form of gravitational force created by that mass. What does that mean? Everything around us, the whole universe is energy, adds up to exactly zero. Nothing.
So that was pretty much perfectly 0, 0, 0 relative, right? Yeah.
Angel, all of the gates are locked down. The rest is up to you.
I need you.
Sorry. Actually,
The apartment.
be careful with that cat.
I think this might be it. It's a good introduction to a weird topic. So thank you for watching and thank you for participating.